I guess Benny got his V card stamp, his vampire card, I mean. He's still a virgin. I'm Justin.
Collateral Pamage. I'm Sam.
Are you guys ready to have a sucking good time? I'm Jackie, and this is Night Teeth on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. This is a podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for bad movie lovers. I'm your host Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, currently streaming on Netflix, a Netflix original starring some schmo, a couple bimps, some other thirsty bitches, and Reek from Game of Thrones. It's called Night Teeth. It's a vampire movie. Hope you like those, because otherwise you're watching vampire movies and you don't like them. That's what happens there. Jackie pick. Jackie, why Night Teeth?
Vampires.
Okay.
I watched the trailer and I was like, this is right up my alley. Vampires. Night business, hanging out, going to clubs, doing the vampire lifestyle. Yeah, because, you know, who doesn't want to be a vampire?
Me?
I mean, if I got turned into a vampire like right now, and it made me the best version of myself, not like the fat that I am right now, but like it totally made me like the perfect Jackie. Hell yeah. I mean, I'd do it.
Does that happen, like, if you're kind of a slob and you accidentally get turned into a vampire? Does it, like, make you sexy?
No, I don't think so. But
why not?
Would need to. Well, I guess it probably would, because it heals you and your body, right? So it's going to just make you the best version of you.
And heals you from wearing white. You have to wear it. It heals you from that ability. You have to just wear black from that on.
Well, I think because vampires don't labor, they just don't observe Labor Day, so they don't know which side to get on with the white, and so they're just like, fuck white.
That checks out. Hey, I got a question. Because this movie tells us at the very beginning, we'll get to that. You guys have been watching vampire movies your whole life and you didn't know that they're real, but you got some things wrong about vampires, which is a fairly common thing. Like, you know, does the cross work? Does garlic do anything? Can you go out in sunlight if you wear suntan lotion like Stephen Dorff does? But do they have super strength in every... Is there an instance of a vampire movie, pop culture, whatever, where they don't have super strength?
I thought Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah. He's predicting his super strength is his standing prophecy. You're thinking of Nosferatu, you jackass.
Oh, yeah, Nosferatu. That's what I'm thinking of. I mean, that guy was ugly. He doesn't fit any of the modern vampire lore, right? He's an ugly guy. He has really long fingernails because apparently he has no hygiene. I
think he still had super strength, though.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he also had been cave dwelling as part of the story, so...
Yeah, and John Carpenter's vampires, they're like the polar opposite of every other cliche, but they still had super strength. So my point is, Jackie, if you get turned into a vampire, why wouldn't you use your vampire super strength to, like, get super rich in sports?
Most of them happen during the day.
Yeah. So I would have to be like a carny and have like a incredible strength act, right? Where I would lift cars above my head and like maybe dribble them like a basketball. It'd be like a monster truck show, but I would be the star and the monster truck would try to get me, but then I would just straight arm the truck and it would just stop. And then it would flip over me and everybody would be like, oh.
No, I don't think you can like overexpose your superpowers, because then, you know, Van Helsing's going to come after you. Like, you got to tone it down. Like, you're just barely better at everything else than everyone else on the planet.
I couldn't do it. I'm too much of a showboater.
Don't they do vampire? So they go outside during the Twilight. I didn't watch the Twilight. I just heard that, and I watched the YouTube clip of the vampire baseball in the Twilight, and I was like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah, sure.
But they go out in the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they go out in the day because the sun, it's always kind of like overcast where they live, so the sun's not directly on them. And if they do get into the sunshine, it makes their body sparkle like diamonds.
So I think if you go back to, because he can go out in the day in Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? He just doesn't have any of his night powers.
Yeah, but he was still pretty like dressed up. Like he wore those glasses,
I think it weakened him maybe,
would,
but
yeah.
like, or maybe just not being superhuman makes you feel shitty. So you like wear a smoking jacket and a
Right.
bunch of crap. You're like, I'm not superhuman right now. Leave me alone.
Well, he could just have glaucoma too,
Yeah.
because those people that wear
Right.
the sunglasses indoors, right? Because they see floaters, and it's just easier for them if they have something over their eyeballs. So that could be his thing too, is that the vampires get glaucoma during the day.
Yeah, they didn't have good weed in Transylvania or England. They had opium. Doesn't help with glaucoma. Anybody?
I mean, it helps with naps.
Yeah,
You take a lot of them.
yeah. I guess you don't need to have your eyes open when you're stoned on opium.
Yep.
Okay, 19th. Sam, go.
First off, the one sexy lady, the love interest
No,
in this
none
movie,
of them are sexy.
she's in Insatiable, which is also a Netflix show about a teenager who was fat, then gets in a fight with a bum over a candy bar and gets her jaw broken, and then she becomes hot because she loses a bunch of weight.
That's so
And she
stupid.
starts being a beauty queen.
God damn it. Okay, Sam, talk about something else, please.
656.0 Kiwi would like to go outside.
That's the cat? That's not Sam
hear
making
that?
cat noises? What the hell was that thing?
Was that the cat?
Yep.
That's a cartoon cat. How did you get a cartoon
Kiwi
cat?
doesn't make any sense. It's all cats are weird, but this one takes the cake.
Oh man, I gotta leave all that in. The listeners need to hear that cat's voice. Meow, 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 meow. Weirdo.
And it's fairly big for a weirdly squishy toy sounding cat.
Yeah. That was cartoonic. Okay, all right.
Well, I guess the BBS is really not thick this week, so I'll just skip around and start where Jackie led us off with Debbie Ryan, I think is who you're talking about. Who's
Yes.
Blair.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Disney kid who grew up hot, so they obviously decided that you need to be in an indie band. Because it's like you have to do a singing career, but if you're not like super on it, like what is it? Ariana Grande was one of them, right?
I don't know. Timberlake.
Christina Aguilera,
Timberlake.
Britney Spears.
They
Miley
push you into
Cyrus.
the pop and people write your shit and you're basically, star catapulted, whether you like it or not. If you're her, it's like, oh, you've done great. You're decent. You haven't made big waves. We're still going to do the music thing. We're going to dip your toes into it and see if we can get you in an alternative audience with the indie rock.
Mm-hmm.
And so they gave her a band called The Never Ending.
What is indie rock?
Like,
Independent
bit
is
of
what
indie
it's
rock.
supposed to be.
like, I don't know. Who could we say is indie rock?
Like really, really indie rock, Wilco.
Yeah, Wilco. That's a good one.
They're really, really indie rock,
Yeah.
and everybody that likes the idea of independence is like, man, Wilco. But I can't really spit too much shade at Wilco because they've been doing it for fucking ever, and they're not that bad, but it's just not my cup of tea, right?
Yeah, Jackie, if you go to a bar and they have a band and the band plays their original songs, and it's like usually a 5-piece band, and it's all pretty mellow, like, that band is indie rock. They all sound the same.
Oh,
Yeah, they're a 5-piece because they can sound on stage like they sound on the album, and nothing of either iteration is going to shake things up too crazy, but some of them have some really good tunes.
Yeah.
But then you have things like, well, the record company's going to make an indie band, which is usually crap.
Yeah.
And that's where you get
the opposite of
Never
indie.
Ending, which had a EP some years ago called One that was 15 minutes long. I tried to listen to it and made it actually 15 seconds. I thought that was funny. That I was like, nope. And I looked at where the ticker was on the YouTube video, and it was 15 seconds in, and I was like, wow.
So
15.
It's not just a cover of everyone see absolute horror. I cannot live. I cannot die. I cannot live. I cannot live. It's not a Metallica cover. One.
The shoegazers were rolling their eyes at this
Oh,
shit.
God damn it. When the shoegazers, you can't get them.
Yeah.
You're gone. Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
man.
not good. The Moopies.
I got no problem with the shoegazers.
I'm pretty not down with Moopy. Like, I don't like the Moop.
Okay, so you guys know who Joni Mitchell is,
Sure,
right?
of course. She's a Hall of
And
Famer.
you know that song, Both Sides Now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. So I was at a restaurant yesterday with my mom having lunch, and
Joni Mitchell walked in.
they popped it. They made it a girl pop song.
Yeah, okay.
I've looked at love from both sides now. From thin and thin.
You sound like the cat.
That's what she sounded like.
Sam, put your cat in a pop band. We'll be millionaires.
Yeah, I got a keyboard.
I'm talking zillions. All right. All right, Debbie Ryan. She's in a pop band.
So I know I got to get back to this Jackie thing, because that basically just pisses all over everything that Joni Mitchell did with her career.
Yep.
Yeah, I was so pissed. I mean, just like the whole song, my jaw was just so tight. And I was like, Mom, don't you hear that? And she's like, oh, it's kind of catchy. What is that? I'm like, Joni Mitchell. She's like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what? I'm just going to eat my fries and shut up.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's Debbie Ryan. She was in... I mean, she's just in a bunch of shit, and they tried to push her as a pop star, and that didn't work out. She seems to be married to some drummer of some band I've never heard of, so the music thing is deep. I will give her the one thing. She did insist on writing all of the lyrics to her failed musical endeavor, so that's something, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Put the work in.
Lucy Fry is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
She was in...
Not Margot Robbie.
Yeah. She's probably cast in this because she was in Vampire Diaries. Actually, she was cast in this because she was available, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she was also in Bright, so there's probably just some Netflix casting connections. Netflix seems to be doing some contract things. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have, where if they have a star or somebody that comes on and does it usually starts with like a series. And then if the series does well, then they pick them up for movie contracts.
Or just they pick them up for a contract based upon their hotness, and they give them X amount of rope, and that rope extends depending on how the last project. It's seriously like Netflix is just operating. They've kind of picked and choosed the old studio system that they liked, and then kind of looked at what Canon did and been like, okay, well, we're as crazy as them, but we shouldn't be so crazy that we should ignore the past. So I would say that some of their success has to do with some of their adoption of the old studio set, and that's been interesting to watch, especially with how much shit they're pumping out, and how they're not as upside down as some of the other streaming services are, when everyone had pointed at them going, these guys are going to get upside down. This has been like 10 years that everybody's going, Netflix is going to get upside down, and they maintain a level of just barely upside down. That's been interesting. Yeah.
Well, they're also not charging me $2.99 to watch ad-free.
Here she goes.
So thanks, Netflix.
Here she goes.
You are king of the streaming services.
It's coming. It's coming.
They will, if you're on the very base tier of Netflix, you get ads now, but almost nobody's on the very base tier of Netflix, so no one has to worry about that. Which the base tier doesn't even allow 1080, so...
Right.
That's the other thing.
Why would you-
I think that's another great idea that Netflix did. Like, well, servers cost this much. If you want to only give us this much money, you can only have this much of our bandwidth.
Yeah.
And now this much of our revenue. So, but no one had that. There's probably people that did, I guess. I was not one of them. I always wanted to be able to watch in more than one place and be able to do 1080 if I wanted to. And now I guess it's 4K, even though I think 4K is the dream of streaming, but your internet has to be stupid fast. Otherwise, the buffering, holy God.
Would you call that the dream stream?
Only if Karl Malone was in charge.
USA. Okay, what else? Who else? Anybody?
Jay is played by one Raul Castillo.
Raul Castillo. Went to high school with that guy.
No, he didn't. But I thought he was interesting because he's actually a playwright who just does acting gigs to make money.
All right.
Like he's that. And I think that's cool because he's like, oh, I got to eat, so I'll do some acting. But I really like writing plays because I'm not going to make any money doing that.
Anything I'd ever heard of?
No.
He do cats? Did he write cats?
He did not.
Okay, that's the only one I've ever heard of. Because we did a movie
He didn't do Laser Cats either.
Laser Cats, yeah.
That was Lonely Island. The star, which is Jorge Lindenberg Jr.
Okay.
Do you guys remember
Georgie.
him from all three of the Spider-Man movies?
Totally.
I don't.
Nope.
He even has a character name. It's Jason Iannello. All three of them.
Nope.
We're talking Tom Holland
Nope.
Spider-Man?
Yep.
I got no clue. I've seen a bunch of those movies a bunch of times.
We're going to get sidetracked here because there's not a lot on this movie. Justin, you're of the opinion that Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi, is the superior of all of the Spider-Man movies?
It's Sam Raimi's magnum opus. It's the best he's ever done.
Better than Army of Darkness.
100%. It is a spectacle.
I don't remember anything about any of the Spider-Mans to the point that the two most memorable things about all of the Spider-Man movies in total after as we talked about last week with the, was it Menahem or Yoram that basically put that thing in development hell for almost 20 years?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
When it finally happens and it's a big deal or whatever, I've watched all of them almost.
Mm-hmm.
It was just part of the memorability of it. The two things I remember about all of the Spider-Man movies together is one, how bad the Green Goblin's costume pissed me off.
Get you, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh no, Willem, no.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. The costume
It
sucks.
sucks.
And Andrew Garfield's hair being the doofiest I've ever seen, which is interesting because I haven't seen either of those movies.
Okay.
So the second most memorable thing about the Spider-Man movies to me is from the ones I haven't even seen.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, that's a fun fact.
But you're saying two. Two's the one.
It's the one.
Okay, I'm going to have to try it again. I think
yeah.
I've seen it twice and I remember nothing other than, it's the guy who's not Oliver Platt is Doc Ock, right?
Alfred Molina.
Molina, yeah. I get those two confused.
Never. Alfred Molina's the man.
Yeah, they both have their own charms, but Molina is probably better, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Alfie Allen killed John Wick's dog.
Yeah.
That didn't go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, because that's before this, right? That's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
John Wick.
2019, 18?
John Wick's like 2017, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not
So really, like,
new.
other than Game of Thrones, killing John Wick's dog is his career high?
Yeah, getting his penis chopped off. I like for a ex Game of Throner with his look, because it's not distinct. He's not like fucking Hugh Jackman or anything. He just looks like Reek from Game of Thrones. I thought he was actually like a good villain in this. Like I thought he was. I wasn't taken out of it by him being Reek, like I was expecting to be. Like, oh god, I can't see this guy as anybody but Reek. But I thought he was fine. I think he can do stuff. I think he should do stuff.
And he seems to do more stuff than all of them that are just Game of Throners, right? Because the other people were somebody beforehand.
All the boys are now in Marvel movies that probably aren't going to get made.
Okay.
Yeah, so they went on to...
Like, what's-his-face was in the Eternals, Rob Stark? That didn't go well.
That didn't go well. And then Jon Snow was supposed to be in the Black Knight franchise. That probably isn't going to happen because nobody's going to Marvel movies anymore because they stink.
Sophie Turner, does she do stuff still?
She was in the X-Men's. Those stunk.
Oh, that's right. That sucked.
Yep.
Maisie Williams...
I don't know.
She seemed like she had a bit of a crisis with the world thinking she was sexy and being like, leave me alone, which is totally normal. I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Game of Throners are not doing well.
No, they're not doing well.
So he's doing fine. And he can play it back. He can play a lot of things. I think that he's just weird looking enough. Mm-hmm. But then not too weird looking. Right? That he's got it. He's going to be fine. I think he's going to kick around for quite a while.
We do something.
Yeah, he's kind of like the ugly Skarsgård brother.
Oh, he could be a Skarsgård. Yeah, he should do that.
Yeah,
he should be a
Or
Skarsgård.
play one of their cousins in a negative role.
Nah, just change his name to Skarsgård. It seems to work out for people.
I think he could be a really good alternate douche character in a rom-com too. I think he's not capitalizing on that enough because he cleans up real well. Yeah. So he could just be the douche that you hate she can't end up with him even though he's got 10 Lamborghinis. He could totally do that guy.
Yeah. Or the guy that gets Paul Walker to date a girl on a bet, you know? Or no, that was Paul Walker that got, never mind, whatever.
No, he would be the guy that he's Paul Walker's cousin that gets him into trouble again.
Yeah.
He could do that guy too.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
I think he's got range for a character actor, I think.
Okay. Let's move on.
So this thing cost $21 million, which isn't very much.
No.
And I would think that they had to spend X amount. I think that they're probably kind of pushed to make a $25 million get somewhere in between 20 and 25 to even justify Netflix putting it out there kind of a thing. Mm. And I would put that they got over the top of the budget in two ways. One of the things that caused the most negative comments, which was the kind of cool animation sequence in the beginning that distracts from the rest of the movie pretty decently.
Yep.
I think that the people on IMDb that were reviewing it thought so. I didn't think so. I basically was like, yeah, whatever. I guess you have to have these now.
Yeah.
And then you get Sydney Sweeney and Megan Fox to show up for one evening, which is why you don't see any of that fight because they could afford them for one shoot and that's it.
Yeah. Notoriously expensive actress, Sydney Sweeney. She's like Amy Adams. Yeah, you can't afford her. Get J-Lo instead of fucking Sydney Sweeney, a lady with big tits who can't act. What the fuck, man? She's expensive.
Well, I think her and Megan Fox together.
It's a BOGO. You get a BOGO on those two. They both stink. What do you mean expensive?
It costs some money to load up the cast list like that, but they only got them for an afternoon.
Okay.
Or an evening, I guess.
Hard pass.
Who's her mom?
Who? Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
Her dad's Todd.
It's not true.
It is true. I saw it on Facebook. It's a total fact. Why would she? I mean, Gail? Her mom is Gail Sweeney? I don't know, Jackie. Why would you What's the reasoning behind you thinking that she has a famous mom that we should know?
Because she has those same weird bug eyes that that one lady has.
Oh, so
I guess
that's her mom.
Yeah. Okay. I tried to look it up, but she does not have a famous mom.
No, and her famous brother is some kid.
Bug
The
eyed.
only other link there, and I'm like, it's just some fucking kid.
Oh,
Why is this a click here?
You know the Sweeneys, they're notorious for their bug eyes.
Jesus.
Weirdo.
Face shamer.
Yeah. Wait, she has eyes?
She has a face? I didn't know that there was anything attached to those cans. The director of this is one Adam Randall, who has directed some really low budget stuff of his own. The screenwriter has written this. I kind of kicked around to see how this was made, and it seemed like the cinematographer is the most well-connected, and I will give him some props. This looks pretty fucking good for for the base budget of a released movie right now.
They spent money on how it looks for sure.
It looks, I think I think the shooting in this movie is damn fine.
It's not my cup of tea. It's not my thing. It reminds me of the early 2000s over editing, but they worked. They did work.
They did work.
Yeah, like the shots from the swimming pool where they go sideways when they're making out on the bench, and I'm like, that's weird. I don't like it.
None of the motion was what impressed me. I just thought that the actual shot composition, the layering, focal length, the amount of at night shooting that they did with multiple layers and different colors of lights, like that stuff's actually really hard. And kudos. But anyway, he has shot all of the director's stuff that was of feature length, so I'm guessing he's the most well-connected in here.
Okay.
That's my how did this get made? That's kind of how.
Okay.
And I believe that he's credited as director of photography and shot 3 of the episodes on the Last of Us series, so he's going places.
Okay. It's a good promotion.
Which, I mean, if director of photography means that even though he shot 3, he's the one that set up, this is how we're going to shoot this.
Yeah, right.
Even if somebody else is running it for other episodes, he's the guy that set up for a plan for an HBO series that was quite successful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
It's not for you, Jackie.
After playing that game, I cannot go through that again. I know that they have to probably pull some punches, and I don't fucking care.
They did not.
Okay, yeah, not doing it again.
No,
sorry, I was there the first time, and
Sure.
I'm good.
Highly, highly recommend to people who I don't want to see cry. Like, yeah, you people that can hear us but can't see us. You watch it, 'cause then I don't have to see you ugly cry.
The other thing is like, let's get sidetracked on this for a second. Watching it, I don't think would be the same as when you make the decisions that cause the things that happen is so much worse.
I don't know,
like,
man.
Playing that game is
I don't know.
fucking tough.
Yeah, it's fucking tough. Okay, let's get into this thing. As long as you're done, I don't mean to cut you off, but we are 30 minutes into it, and we haven't even started talking about the plot of this film, so let's do it. And that was a good episode. Next week on the show, get it? There is no... Okay. So, blah, blah, blah. The animation sequence that Sam's talking about where they have to do this now in every fucking movie, set up the world, says that, you've heard of us, but you didn't know we're different than what you think. And it's like, no, this is the same setup as every vampire movie in history, except for John Carpenter's vampires. Because all they are sexy people that live in the shadows, the world at large doesn't know about them, and they got to deal with the humans to keep it secret. Guess what? That's Underworld. That's fucking Blade. That's, I guess, not Twilight, because they're just...
I mean, what are they bitching about, really?
But who's bitching?
I mean, oh no, you have to go out at nighttime. Oh, fuck off. You're living in this giant mansion. You don't have to pay for heating or air conditioning because you can't feel shit. So your electricity bills are rather low, except for the pool that, you're running and having the pool
Well, you don't
boy
have to heat the
deal
pool.
with.
You can just have water.
Yeah, and then you can have a minion that you have there at the house.
A familiar.
That cleans up
they're called.
after you.
Yeah.
A familiar, right? Somebody that cleans up after you after you go to bed, after you've been partying all night.
Mm-hmm.
You have no responsibilities, and you're rich as fuck. So, you know what? Quit bitching, you fucking vampires.
What vampires were bitching, Jackie? Where are you coming with this?
In the beginning, they were like, we have to stay hidden, and we can't go to Boyle Town. I'm like, who wants to go to a place named Boyle?
No.
That sounds like something that's on your ass that is about to explode at any minute.
Literally what a boil
No.
is, so it doesn't sound like it is that. But yeah, so there's this bit of truce that they made with somebody. I don't fucking know. I guess the Boyle Heights people. And the Boyle Heights people were like, yeah, we'll have a truce with you. But the one thing is, you can't come to our town. Well, why? That's the point of a truce. If, you know. So.
Well, I think the truce extends beyond not fucking around in Boyle Heights where all of the vampire truce enforcers are. I think it goes into don't do your vampire business nefariously. If people want to get fed on, that's fine.
Right.
No unwilling participants, no carnage. You know, you can do you, just do it in the shadows, quote unquote.
Okay, well, that's a fair proposition that you brought forth as ambassador of the Vampire Delegate. I would like to retort that if we don't eat you, we'll die.
Well, that's the thing. In all of these post Bram Stoker only vampire thing, you have that's not true. There's, I think, other vampires that have nothing to do with the current state of the vampire and storytelling, but you just have to drink the blood. You actually don't have to kill them.
What if we're really hungry, though? Like Super Bowl Sunday, and we got a buffet of naked ladies on a table, and they're unconscious, and we got to feed our friends. They're like one of those long sandwiches, you know? Do you just sort of nibble on the outside of the long sandwich? No, you eat the whole damn thing.
This is what you do, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as the second delegate for Boyle Town, you get yourself a van,
okay,
and a bunch of puppies,
okay,
and you go up to children, and you're like, "Hey, can I feed on you if you get to have this dog?"
Uh-huh.
And they go, "Yeah, mister." And so you give him the dog at the Super Bowl party. You put him in like a little kid play area. And then it's just, you know, you pull one out and snack on it when you need it.
Okay. And then the kid goes home with blood loss. Can't even remember his name. And he's holding a puppy and he's shooting blood out of his neck. I think his parents might be a little upset. And you know what? They're going to call one of those evening news investigative teams. And the evening news, you know, 4 on your side is going to, you know, do one of those hard-hitting journalism things and figure out the vampires.
Okay, well, just give him $1,000 too.
Okay, $1,000.
With a note that says, if you shut your mouth, here's $1,000.
Oh my God!
Your kid's gonna be fine in a couple of days.
Buy so many puppies. Okay.
P.S. This one is a peer.
Well, I'm just gonna burn this now because I think that's the main thing that every vampire story completely misses the point of, but because they're following the leader on the rest of it, they like pick up inadvertently on the implicit meaning. The whole idea of the vampire is just a sort of, it's a metaphor for gluttony of the rich, right?
I think it can be.
It should be.
Okay. Dracula wasn't.
And
Dracula was rich as fuck, dude. He had a castle.
Yeah, no, but that's not a metaphor about the gluttony of the rich. It's it's a metaphor of the gluttony of the powerful, not the rich. So I guess it could be.
But the power structure of the vampires running things, like that could always be flushed out a bit more, and they don't. And I enjoy implicit meanings more than explicit, or implicit ideas, themes.
Mm-hmm.
but implicitly they don't. It's like it's not even implicit in most of these vampire movies. It's just inadvertent. Like they accidentally do it because it was done right once, and then whoops, we're following these rules. We don't even know what they are. And one of my biggest problems with vampire movies is that if this is exactly what you're doing, where vampires are really running the show, you've actually got something to say here, and you're missing the fucking point. And you don't even have to like beat people over the head with it. You just, toss a few needles in the right direction, and that no one ever does.
Actually, Bram Stoker's Dracula isn't a metaphor of
It's
the powerful. Not. It's straight up anti-Semitism is Bram Stoker's Dracula, because it's the guy was not nice. It's an anti-Jewish movie. The Jewish foreigner coming in and stealing our ladies. He's going to take our jobs, or whatever the fuck anti-Semites bitch about with they got all the money in the banks or the space lasers. And I don't get anti-Semitism, but that's what it is. It is a
Jackie, who's the lady that writes all the vampire bullshit?
Anne Rice.
Anne Rice.
Okay. Yeah. Are you with me on like the Anne Rice thing? That's what Anne Rice is doing though, right?
Anti-Semitism?
No, Gluttony of the Rich.
Gluttony of the Rich, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
And
The
I would say that
overindulgence, the not having to answer for the things that you do, right? It's just, I have these basic set of rules that so-and-so told me I can't do, like I can't turn children into vampires, right? And then, and you can't drink from somebody who's already dead. And those are really the only two rules.
And then in the Anne Rice novels, the turning kids happens relatively, like they're breaking those rules all the time, right?
No, they only break them one time. Because he feels bad for the little girl, which
Okay.
was Kristen Stewart at the time.
That's Twilight, not Anne Rice.
No, there was a kid turned in Interview with the Vampire, right?
Yeah, it's a little blonde girl, and then
Kristen
she goes
Stewart
around killing
was
other
not
kids.
in that movie. She was not born yet.
Oh, who am I thinking about? The blonde
Kristen
one.
Dunst?
Yeah, that one.
No.
Yeah, and then she goes around killing other kids because she can get into their houses and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how she gets busted. And then they come and take her and kill her.
It wasn't the puppies she was trying to give them.
Nope.
We've already basically said that Anne Rice is the all of the vampire movies that are happening now are based upon the Anne Rice vampire, not so much Dracula, correct?
Probably, yeah.
Because I think that's where it's at. Yeah. You would think so. Jackie, am I right on that?
Yeah, I would say that it's sexy town and good-looking people with lots of money. They're living the lifestyle that the poor man can only dream of, right? So it lends itself into that too. Like, one day I'm going to be a vampire. Shit.
As soon as I get done flipping these burgers, man, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And, for the village idiot, right? I mean, all it takes is meeting one vampire, and then your life is changed, and you're rich, and you have control over your life, and you don't have to answer to the man anymore, and
All right.
do whatever the fuck you want.
Let's get to this movie.
Okay.
So that's the 20-minute short story of where we did a worse job of summing up than they did. There's this dude, his name is Jay. He's, I guess, a badass or something.
He's a college student who sells papers for money.
Not Benny.
That's
Jay.
Benny.
We're talking about Jay. He's in charge of Boyle Heights,
He's the werewolf.
the anti-vampire resistance fighters in Boyle Heights.
Here's what I can glean from the movie and the dialogue and the events that happen is that Jay is probably he does drive for the chauffeur company, but he's actually the manager, which should be a pretty good gig. And he's also the resident manager of the Vampire Truce in Boyle Heights and the Boyle Heights Enforcer. And all of these things aren't really enough for him to have his own washing machine.
Right. Yep. That checks out.
Because his girlfriend is at the laundry mat.
Yep.
And that's where we meet
At
Jay
night.
and Maria.
Don't go to the laundromat at night, ladies. That's a bad idea. Yikes.
Yeah, who the hell does that?
If it's not vampires, it's flashers.
Yeah, I'm just going to see some
Rapists.
dick.
Murderers.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like rapists, Sam, not flashers.
That's the best case scenario is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey, that guy's penis is there.
Some guy just opens the dryer and starts smelling your underwear. Best case scenario.
Don't go to the laundromat at night. All right, so they're followed by some dude. It's Reek, and his name is Victor in this movie. I'm not going to call him Reek the whole time. And he's like, I got to go tell my bros. Victor's over here. So he goes to this building, and he goes inside, and his bros are strung up upside down because I guess Victor has already broken the truce. And he's like, oh, no, I left my girlfriend out in the car. She doesn't know how to drive a stick because I told her to leave, and she didn't. And Victor has torn off the door of the car and grabbed the girlfriend. Maria!
And then there's some drag racing.
Yeah,
there was drag racing before that.
But it was
like,
very one-sided. Very one-sided. Because Victor wasn't in the shot.
Yeah.
So, cut to Benny. Benny is Jay's little brother. He's a student at college. He's an inspiring musician. He lives with his grandma in someone else's house. Because
that's not his grandma's house?
He says, I'm going to buy you a house someday, Grandma. This is my house, Betty. No, it's not, Abuela.
Jay rents this. It's why he can't afford a washing machine.
If he rents it, then why doesn't he live there? Because
he has his own place with Maria. And if he only had one rental that he had to keep up paying rent on, he could have a washing machine.
I don't know if it's his house either, though, because there's some things.
No, I think he's paying rent for him.
Yeah, okay. So Jay's there, and he's like, "Hey, don't look at all this badass shit I'm doing over here." And Benny's like, "Hey, well, I need to make money to buy more DJ stuff." It seems like he's got a pretty decent studio already. Whatever, I don't know what he's saving up for. And he's like, "Can I drive chauffeur tonight for you? I'll pretend to be you." Okay, so you're gonna drive, and I'm gonna get my paycheck. They don't pay you; they're paid me. So you're not gonna make any money, but doing that. Okay, whatever. Here's the keys. So
he gets to keep the tip.
Well,
he
can get a big fat tip at the end.
Right. So he is doing that. He goes to Beverly Hills. It's night now. And Blair and Zoe, they're who he's picking up, and they need to go to 5 parties by the end of the night, and so that's what they're doing. They give him a navigation list on, like they can send navigation coordinates, I don't know, to his car, and
this is where I think most of the reviewers have already checked out on the movie because 80% of them just accuse this of being a regurgitation of Collateral with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Where he's substituted by vampires. But after this one idea, they're not really the same.
No, I totally separate direction.
Totally different direction,
Sort of.
In fact.
Sort of. Yeah.
This ends up, even though it's one client, this ends up being more like Stretch than
Kinda like Stretch.
Collateral, really.
Yeah. Anyways, so they're like, here, we're going to these places. And he's like, okay, I'll take you to whatever. And he's just a complete moron. Let's talk about Benny. I despise Benny. To me, he is completely unsympathetic. He's a doofus, fish out of his element, whatever. But he's also a fucking complete moron.
He's a tool.
He's a total tool. Jackie? Benny?
I think it's just because we're older.
Oh?
Oh, no.
You think
he sucks?
You think when you're like in your 20s, you think Benny was a cool guy?
No, I would think Benny was an idiot and I'd probably steer clear.
Yeah.
Like you don't talk well.
No.
Your communication styles are stupid and you think that you're being cool, but you don't realize that you're in the service industry. Shut up and drive me.
They're there is a shot of him, actual like, and dialogue to accompany it, of him just tapping on the touchscreen, and it says "need a destination." He's not putting one in. He's trying to get the navigation to work, but he isn't putting an address. And here's the further problem: he got into the car and said, "First thing I need to do is put in navigation." They haven't told him where he's going yet.
Yeah, this actually I think works because he's just an idiot.
He is such a
And
moron.
he's like, I can't make it work. And then she actually reaches onto her tablet and does an up swipe. And then in the shot, all of the itineraries put on the nav screen. Like she knew what was going on and he didn't. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm stupid.
He is mega dumb. mega dumb. And he's just kind of annoying too. So they're driving along and they're playing like fucking murder, fuck, Mary, like they're 14. These girls are 14 years old. Like, yeah, we're playing word games. I've got one of those little, what are those called, Jackie? The
I don't know what those things are called.
Mansion, subway,
no,
house.
that's not MASH.
That's what they're doing.
It's like a fortune teller thing.
That's what they were in
kids
South Park.
make.
But I thought that was MASH. You wrote MASH on it, and you're gonna marry Steve.
MASH is on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one with where you do the folded origami thing?
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
Yeah, you put the
MASH
1, 2, 3,
MASH
4.
is where you write MASH and then you list like 3 or 4 options for each one, and then you do the origami thing.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that you open on, then you start counting, and every if you got a 3, you would count 3 on the list and mark it off until you have one thing for each category.
That's what I'm saying. That's
but
MASH.
It's always just a joke where you end up having to marry Smelly Pete or whoever, right?
Yeah.
It's just a
You're
trick.
you're gonna live in whatever A is, the subway for S. Smelly
You're
Pete.
going to live in a bus with Smelly Pete. Your future sucks.
That's what these girls are doing. God damn it. People don't talk like this when they're adults. It pisses me off. So they go to the first party. They're in there for like 2 seconds. And they come back out. And Betty's like, oh, hey, by the way, I found this vampire talisman. It's on the ground. So I picked it up and I've been carrying it around. Let's go to the second party. They go to the second party. It's at this hotel called El Azul. And he's down in the garage waiting for them to show back up. And he's going through their texts. And there's some stuff from Victor that says, hey, we're going to kill Jay.
Dumb to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, there's a cop. Oh, God, I'm just going to rifle through people's belongings.
Yep.
I'm going to panic for no reason. What are you doing, Benny?
Yep.
So he decides that he's going to run into the building instead of just sitting in the car minding his own goddamn business.
Because there's a cop.
Right.
Who's looking at cars that aren't his. Also, he is a chauffeur. Hey, what are you doing parked here? I'm a chauffeur for some guests. They're inside. All right. You have a good night. Thanks, officer.
He's so dumb.
Yeah, he runs away. And so he goes inside. The concierge is like, oh, yeah, you're not a member here. You also look like a stupid dipshit, so I'm going to call security. And he's like, no, don't do that. I've got this talisman. And she's like, oh, the talisman. That means you can go to the top floor. Guy I don't know or have never seen and doesn't have a jacket that says members only on it and doesn't have a clue where he's at and can't tell me what he's doing here. Okay, this checks out. You didn't just find this on the ground, did you? Oh, no, of course not, ma'am. Oh, then you must be a real fucking vampire then. Get your teeth filed down this week? Yeah, I'm doing a commercial shoot for the car sales company here in town.
She's like, oh, this one's got the case of the extra thirsty stupids.
Yeah.
Come with me. I'll help you.
So she takes him upstairs and he wanders through a door and there he finds the ladies and they're munching on some dudes. You got 2 guys up on these massage chairs and they're sucking on them.
It's pretty dumb.
It's pretty stupid. And they're like, he's Fives. The dude wakes up and he's like, hey, how's my bro? Because we volunteered for this. And she's like, he's dead. Because that's what vampires do. They suck your blood out of you. Oh, crap. I thought you were just giving me a neck massage that made me fall asleep. Because we're in massage chairs. No, we ate you.
Yeah.
Well, in their defense, they're not supposed to be killing these dudes.
That is what vampires do.
Yeah,
Now,
but
you
according to the
are
treaty,
fixated on the bloodlust with that you can actually take some of their blood, like the, Red Cross or whatever, and leave them alive is what's part of the truce. You're like, nope, every time they bite you, they just suck you dry.
We
like
only have 6 pints of blood in our body. Like, I just drank 3 pints of water during this podcast. It's not enough to sustain the undead. They kill people. That's what they do. They're killers. Blah. Did you ever see Bugs Bunny and Dracula? It wasn't just being like, hey, Bunny, I'm going to take a nibble on you. No, he's going to kill fucking Bugs Bunny. God damn it, man. That's how they work. They're bloodsuckers. Why do you think Blade's got to kill all of them?
Because he's pissed off.
God, these guys are dumb. I'm just going to get a sword and kill them. No, they're killing people. He's a hero. I don't know about you two. Okay, so he's like, oh, my buddy, you broke the rules because we're the sons of the bosses of this hotel. They say something like that, and they're like, no, you're going to die. So they kill him. Okay. And Benny's like, I'm out of here. So he runs back to the cop. And he's like, hey, officer, there's some bloodsuckers up there. And I don't know if you knew or not, but they don't just take a little bit of blood. They suck you dry in sanguination. Sanguination. Sanguine was a vampire. That's where it comes from. It's a root word of sanguination.
did you have to look that up before this podcast?
No,
and you're just waiting to throw that out there, like
sanguines.
My word of the day: sanguation.
Sanguine is a major character in Skyrim.
Oh my god!
And I watched X-Files, Jackie. There's lots of people that get exsanguinated in the X-Files.
A lot of factoids in the X-Files.
Yeah. Everything I learned in the X-Files.
The Lazarus Bowl.
The Lazarus Bowl! We must find it! Okay, so he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, kid. I'm going to stuff you in this trunk. And he's like, no. The ladies run up and they're like, no, he's our driver. It's cool. Gary, the cop. Okay. Can I touch you? No, gross. Get away, Gary, the cop. Oh. And so the adventure goes on. Victor. Oh, yeah. Victor's at the thirsty bitch's house. This more thirsty bitches that he's got going on here.
Victor rolls out of his garage in a Maserati, and they saw fit to leave that just bitchin' Maserati growl in the. I like that. I like that they didn't just like toss in some crappy sound. They're like, no, people, this is what a fucking Maserati sounds like. And I was like, yeah.
Yes. And then it broke down.
A car that no one can afford to drive.
It broke down immediately
regardless
after
of how rich they are.
He doesn't have air conditioning because it's $40,000 to replace the compressor in that car. So
he doesn't need it. He's a vampire.
He's a vampire. That's right. See, thrifty, Jackie. It's the path to savings.
That's right. That's why
the Maserati is not a path to savings.
No, that is not. Well, but being a vampire is.
He's saved on his electric bills, right? Because he doesn't need to turn on the AC or the heat at any point in time. So at this point, Sam, he's saved enough to have that Maserati. And then they're like, would you like the air conditioning option? He's like, no.
Well, good, because it wouldn't work anyways, because it's a Maserati.
Yeah. Are you interested in the highest cost of ownership of any vehicle? It is kind of fast. Have you heard of the Maserati?
Can I see your Priuses? Said no vampire ever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, vampires don't drive shit cars. That'd be like if he rolled out in a Fiat. You know, one of those new Fiats, and you're like, oh. He's like, yeah, I really sprang for the 4-door model.
Hey, nice.
A Fiat Panda.
Yeah, Panda.
Yeah. And all the other vampires would point and laugh at him.
And then, so that like they go to a vampire party, and there's like an Audi R8 parked out front, the Maserati, obviously. Maybe somebody shows up in a new C8 Corvette, and then Gary the vampire shows up in his mom's Buick, and he's like, "What? It's a Buick. It's a nice car." They're like, "You're done, Gary."
When you show up to the valet in a Maserati and like you hand the valet the keys and he's like, "I'll park it up." Like, "No, please take it directly to the Maserati dealership for servicing."
I'm going to be here for a while.
Do you have a loaner?
Yeah, Gary's Buick. No! What? It's a nice car. It's got heated seats. You're a vampire.
Why doesn't he just turn
Tiger
into
Woods
a bat?
drives a Buick.
Yeah, that's true.
Off cliffs.
Okay. So he's like, "Hey, Sydney Sweeney and Megan Fox. Hey, weird thumb, lady. They're like, "Oh, you are a truce breaker. We're gonna kill you," and we're be fucking smug about it too, because they're smug assholes. All these people in this movies are smug assholes, and I hate all of them. And he's like, "I'm here to kill you," and they're like, "Oh no, dang it."
I also like they're super dressed up for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Megan Fox is wearing a cape.
Going out tonight? No.
This is my staying in cape.
Yeah. She's like Flo in that Progressive commercial. She's got a Tuesday chalice.
Yeah. Have you been sitting out here for a while? Yes, I can't really move around in this house cape.
And then like he has no problem killing them. They were like 2 seconds ago, "Oh, we're gonna kill you," and "No, I'm gonna kill you." "Oh shit, well, we give up. Just go ahead and kill us." There's blood fucking everywhere when they come back to the scene later. Like, you guys, there's two of you. You also have super strength. Why is this guy such a badass? This Victor guy.
Because he's been killing people and sucking them all the way dry and getting extra vampire powers, and they've been resting on their laurels and wearing house capes. I mean, she's wearing a cape. That's probably the entire... What happens off screen that we couldn't see because they were only there for 4 hours. So there's no choreography that can be involved in that short of a shoot. Is he just grabs her by the cape and uses her as a blunt instrument to beat them both to death. And she's just screaming, "The cape was a bad idea," the entire time.
He doesn't even get that far. She actually steps on the cape, which causes her to trip, and she smashes her face into the hot tub.
Yeah.
You can't wear a cape. We know they're not safe. Okay, so they're dead. Nice to see you, ladies. Thanks. Blair tells Betty that they're doing. She's just like, "Hey, so you can't run away. We're killing all of the bosses. There's 5 bosses. This is how the world works in Los Angeles. There's 5 bosses. They're all vampires. And then there's Boyle Heights, and your brother's like in charge of the enforcers there to keep us doing the truce. But Victor's taking over town. So he's killing all the bosses, and once he does that, he'll solidify his power or whatever, because nobody's going to come.
Or whatever.
I don't think that's how that's going to go down.
No, I don't think so at all. She's like, so.
But whatever.
In order to do it, we need to like find your brother and kill him. So we were that was the plan, was he was going to drive tonight, and after we were done killing everybody, we were going to have him drive back to Victor's house, and then Victor was going to get him, and Victor was going to kill him. But instead, we got you. And he's like, "Oh, dude, you were going to kill my bro? Not cool, babe."
Something of a shitty plan.
It's a really shitty plan.
Because I think Jay would figure out what was going on immediately.
Jay knows the locations of where he's an enforcer of the truth. He knows where these bosses are. And in fact, the movie even fucking tells us, because one guy later is like, "Go to the Three Kings." Okay, I know where that's at. That's where the bosses live. Go to Elks, or the hotel where the bosses are. Okay, I know that. So he would see the fucking shopping list of dead guys and be like, "Oh, you're fucking vampires. Blap, blap."
I don't think we've got there yet, but there's a point where he figures out what's going on and he kind of looks up and goes, oh shit. I accidentally outsmarted the shittiest plan. Had I done nothing, this would have worked out better for me.
Correct. Yeah, fucking stupid. So Jay and his crew, they go to look for Victor, and they find a bunch of dead guys, and this last dead guy who's dying says that he's at this place and that the Victor's killing all the bosses, so now he knows. And the gals and Benny, they go to this club and they get in, and it's the same place that Jay is going. He's been sent to as well, so that's coming up. What? Oh yeah, outside he gets made fun of. Like, hey,
this is fun.
You're a dork. And they're like, oh man, I hate being picked on. And so Blair's like, oh yeah, well pick on this big boy, and plants one on him, and I guess that makes him fucking cool. Everybody's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a total take that, Chad.
Yeah, that guy's sweet now that lady kissed him.
Well, they were calling him the help, and they were saying that he was, piece of shit, and so she felt bad for him.
Yeah, it's called,
I would do the same thing.
It's called the job. Why are you fucking coming down on me for having a goddamn job? It's actually a pretty cool job. I get to go to fucking nightclubs and stuff like that and hang out with hot ladies. Why would you make fun of me for that, you fucking stupid? He is a moron.
Yeah.
They're both morons. Well, okay, I didn't know you were cool, though, because that lady kissed you. Dang. Ladies kissing you. Man, wonder what that's like. You got one right there, douchebag. All right, so the ladies get surrounded by these crossbow guys. Jackie had a name for them. The movie has a name for them. I don't know what they're called. They're just crossbow guys. They're like vampire hunters, I guess.
The Sons of Van Helsing.
Yeah, right. And Jackie also said something about the crossbows, that they're like dipped in nightshade or something, and that's gonna fucking do more vampire damage, but it doesn't. What's?
Yeah, they're supposed to be dipped in nightshade,
Okay.
and so it spreads throughout their bloodstream and poisons their bodies. So even if they don't kill them with it, then they're poisoned.
What does nightshade?
Like a rattlesnake bite.
What does nightshade have to do with fucking shit? Anything? It's a flower.
Because that is poison, Justin.
No, garlic
And it
is a vampire poison. Nightshade is a poison to mankind. They're immortal. Fuck off with the nightshade thing. It's like sun.
Do you think that bolos made of garlic would be a good anti-vampire weapon?
Yeah. Oh, like bolos. Yeah. Wrap them by the ankle and they trip and then bash their face into hot tubs. Totally.
Or it just wraps around their neck and they're like, I can't touch it. It's on me.
Icky. Cook them up. We're going to roast you. Okay, so where the crossbow guys. So he's like, gotcha. Oh no, we got you because Benny is in love with this one, and he's gonna brain you with a champagne bottle, and I guess you're dead from it. Even though you're a fucking vampire.
Benny to the rescue.
That guy is not a vampire. Nobody in that room is a vampire. No, they've already killed the boss.
Oh.
And they were waiting for her as a trap because they know that they're going through and killing all the bosses.
Oh.
Well, this boss wasn't dead yet, so they were just waiting. And they're all part of the vampire hate group that's trying to eradicate the vampires because now it's open season because they've crossed the border.
Oh, I see.
This is sort of like, I feel like at this point I'm realizing that this isn't really a big deal in the vampire versus human scene. This is basically just a neighborhood dispute. Mm-hmm. And so the Van Helsing people are like, send some folks out to make sure this doesn't get out of hand. The local truce enforcement doesn't seem to be quite on the ball here. But these people are of very little consequence because they seem to be part of a much larger organization that isn't putting a lot of effort towards this.
No. I mean, it is just L.A. I mean, I'm assuming the Sons of Helsing have like a national thing going on. Chapters.
They've got like quadcopters and guys who rappel in with
Yeah.
laser vision. And,
Yeah, the real talent.
Yeah.
Ninja stars that are cross-shaped.
Made of silver.
Yeah, made of silver. Yeah, they know how to do it. Garlic bolos. So they kill those guys. Jay sees them leaving, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I can't. It's my bro." But he can't get to him because some vampire dude gets in his way, and he stabs him in the chest, and he melts. And so there's a riot at the disco, I guess. And
they panic because everyone's like, "I'm an ass."
So there's panic at the disco instead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fire at the Taco Bell.
Okay. So more crossbow dudes show up, and they're shooting. Their arrows have like tracers, but they also make pew pew sounds. No, when they fire them,
they're shooting bottle
pew.
rockets at them.
Yeah, right.
That'll piss them off. Hit them in the eye.
So Jay, he goes out this back door. This never fucking goes anywhere. Jay goes out the back door, and he meets this lady crossbower, and she's like, when all this is done, give me a call for a team up or a bang. I'm not real sure.
This is, I think, for me, clearly when I'm like, oh, this is a local skirmish. Like, this is just a local skirmish. And that's why even the Van Helsing collaborative or whatever the fuck these people are that are obviously tooled up to really rain hell on this situation if they needed to, or like, okay, you know what? We're going to let your little fucking slap fight carry on. If you ever really need help, we'll come in and just murderfy the fuck out of all of these people. But here's my pennant, which is like a card. I guess you'll present this at the
front desk
of some fucking place, and they'll go, oh, talk to Josephine, I guess.
Okay. I don't think that was necessary to be in this film.
It seemed like it worked for me enough that she's like, okay, fine. This is stupid. We're leaving. If you really think you're going to be able to preserve your truce, go ahead. But if you can't, go ahead and call us. We're out. This is stupid. We have better things to do.
But they don't leave. Anyways, so Benny.
They do. That's the last time we see them,
no,
right?
No, it's not. Benny, he takes the ladies back to his abuela's, or his abuela's not house, or I'm not sure whose house this is. But he's like, hey, we could lay low at my place that I live with my grandma at. They're like, cool. And then they blah, blah, blah for a long ass fucking time. Just, you love me yet? No. Well, let's spend some more time together and maybe we'll figure it out. Blah, blah, blah. And then they head out. So Jay, he meets Victor at this restaurant. He's like, hey, you want to get some spaghetti together? Sure. We can talk about this whole thing. Yeah. Okay. I just got to go to the bathroom real quick. And I got a gun. So he shoots him through the skull, and Victor heals up immediately and says that, oh, by the way, this spaghetti, it's got Maria balls in it. Spaghetti with Maria. It's your girlfriend. I'm eating your girlfriend. No! Mm-hmm. She was the only one who knew how to do the laundry. Dirty clothes. So many dirty clothes. How's she taste, by the way? A little chewy.
Like she uses too much bounce.
Funny you should say that. Okay, so the ladies, they go to the last place that they need to complete their journey. And it's some creepy hippie dude who's just kind of a douchebag, just a major D-bag vampire butthole.
Rocco.
Yeah. But
I didn't get what Rocco was like. He's the kingpin of weirdos.
Yeah.
His pad
Surfers.
is sweet.
Yeah, he's in charge of Surf City. Here we come.
Night surfing.
Yeah.
Do you think he ever goes out and like tries to get sharks to attack him so that he can be like, fought another one, guys? And then now that there's vampire sharks out there,
I think all sharks are vampires, Jackie.
If a shark eats a vampire, it's going to die because what do you lop off their head? They die.
Mm-hmm.
That'll happen at some point in the getting eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's so strong that he wrestles the shark and he pokes it in the bun hole.
Oh.
They're not good in water.
Sharks? I'm pretty sure they are.
Vampires.
Oh, vampires. Yeah.
Oh.
Sharks are very good in water.
Not strong swimmers.
That's their not superpower.
Yeah. I'm not wearing a cape. I don't know how to swim. So one thing that he does say is that I got a nose for these things, and that kid is a virgin. Hey! I am not. I've done it. No, you haven't. Oh, now they know. I live with my grandma. Then there's a whole bunch more blah, blah, blahing. Do you love me yet? I don't know. I just found out you're a virgin. I'm not ready for that level of commitment. So, goodbye. But then she climbs on top of him. And what's this guy's name? Dito? Rocco. He brings in some goons. He's like, yeah, hey, remember the good old times? Well, those times are gone. I know you're here to kill me. Word gets around town. We have phones now.
Phones.
People called me and said that, hey, these two bitches are taking out so I got guys. Not enough. So they fight these dudes off. And then the crossbow dudes show back up, Sam, and start
That's right.
firing.
They do show back up.
Laser
Maybe
arrows.
they're just still quelling street violence, but they don't seem to be involved in the heavy hitters at all. They're just kind of minimizing the collateral damage. What's her face gets shot? What is Zoe?
Zoe, yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, she doesn't get. Does she get shot? When was she hanging
shot,
out of the car, just going, "Eat
that
it,
was-
sons of bitches"?
early.
Which I thought
that
actually.
that was at the Three Kings.
Okay, that I thought went a long way for her character. She's totally Forever 21.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's shot with an arrow, but she doesn't die because the Nightshade really isn't that great of a weapon. Like, yeah, it's just.
Well, if you get to the
flowers.
blood fast enough, you can drink more, which they take her back to Victor's house, I guess, and she's going to be fine.
Yeah, they set her up with the blood bag and she's good.
Sun's coming
He's
up.
got a Plato or Socrates blood tap thing.
That thing was awesome.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of dudes in his basement that are just blood bags. He just. So, hold on, I got to change the carbon. Okay, you want a blood soda? You mean blood orange soda? No, blood soda. It's good. Like V8? No, blood soda. Because I'm a vampire. I drink all the blood. All of it. I got to tap for blood. I don't just take a little bit of blood. I got to tap for it. It's like, oh, you got a kegerator. You must like beer. No shit. I fucking drink a lot of beer. I got a kegerator. If you got to tap for blood, you like blood and you drink a lot of it. Which implies that people are getting drained of blood. Because they're, okay. So, what's her name? Blair. She's like, Benny, you got to get out of here. And he's like, no, my brother's inside. They got kidnapped earlier. And Justin didn't talk about that part. I got to save him. She's like, no, you're going to go in there and you're going to die. Get out of here. I love you. And he's like, oh, bummer. I'm never going to see her again. So he's like, no, I got to get my brother. So he goes in, goes past all the blood bag guys. He finds Jay at the end of the cage. I guess the cage is like just two-way mirrors. You can't see through them or whatever. And he's like,
one-way mirrors.
Yeah, thank you. And he's about to bust the door, but then Victor grabs the baseball bat and grabs him. He's like, come on, let's go upstairs. I'm going to eat you.
I've got some monologuing to do.
Yeah, these ladies want to hear me talk. And then we're going to eat you. All up. All of you. No, just a little bit? No, all of you, because we're fucking vampires. Suck on you till you dry. And we throw a party to that guy from Skyrim. Lord Sanguine.
The guy from Skyrim.
Lord Sanguine.
Okay.
Okay. I guess Sanguine's in Elder Scrolls. It's not just Skyrim. Okay. And Blair's like, no, he's my boyfriend. I'm going to take his V card. And yeah, well, here's a knife. You can't penetrate him. He's not going to penetrate you. I'm going to penetrate you with this blade in your tummy. Ow. Okay. Do we want to? All right.
So
I'm ready to do the stupid part.
Okay.
Benny's like, oh yeah, you don't stab my girlfriend. Only I stabbed my girlfriend, but I haven't done that yet because I'm still a virgin. Beep beep on the remote start of the car. He's wedged a rock on the gas pedal. Car goes schmeving through the house, exposing Zoe to sunlight, and she goes poof.
Mm-hmm. So this doesn't work, right?
It does not.
Because there's like 10 things that... The one thing that would work for this is that with the current EFI in cars, the gas being depressed wouldn't send gas through.
It's
even the electronic fuel pump, but the car won't start
Sam.
without the brake being on and it in park.
It has to be in park. So
and the brake has to be on.
When he went boop boop, all of a sudden they heard vroom, some fucking Escalade revving up to the red line. What? Oh, I thought I was gonna go. Okay, whatever. You're dead, Betty.
Yeah, not to mention that it probably has the smart assist, so it would break itself before it ran into
that
the building.
too. Even if you could get it to go, it's not going to crash. God damn it, Benny, you suck. Yeah, I don't know how cars work. You should just see me try to put in the navigation. I put in navigation with no address. I just started tapping search. Where were you going to go? I don't know, man.
How do you paint yourself out of this corner without this really stupid ending is what I wonder.
Of Zoe getting...
You don't. He's dead.
He's dead, yeah. He's not capable.
This is a corner you can't paint yourself. You've painted yourself into this corner and you're just stuck.
Well, I think what other movie is it where the guy grabs an automatic and starts shooting up the walls and the light comes in? Is that Vampires? John Carpenter's Vampires? Is that where I'm going
Probably.
again? Yeah. So you could steal from John Carpenter. Everybody fucking else does. So...
Well, and the end of Legend, too, where they have all the great big mirror things or whatever, the things that, I don't know, like serving platters that they angle with the sun, and it bounces off and then hits him in the face and he dies.
Yeah, that's
that's
Lord Sanguine.
The windows are so tinted that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
You got to break those tinted windows.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that villain in Legend is Lord Sanguine. Just can't get off of that. So anyways, Victor's like, you killed Zoe, but I'm still alive because I'm in the shadows. Blah. And he bites him in the neck. And then Jay comes out of nowhere and dive tackles him out into the sun. And Victor goes poof. Yay.
And then Benny's going to die, but this goes where it's been going the whole time because he was too stupid to be a human.
Right. He's
already chosen his side, and him and his girlfriend are both going to die if they don't suck each other off, and they do that.
Yay. So am I still a virgin? Yes, Benny. Dang it. But I'm a vampire? I'm a vampire virgin? And I'm immortal? Does that mean I'm always going to be a virgin? Like I'm locked as virgin for, like I never age, I never change, I never do anything? I just constantly a virgin forever? Even if I actually have sex? Well, that's not going to happen, Benny.
Oh, Benny. Screw you, Benny.
So later, Benny gives Jay a big pile of cash. I guess that was in the back seat. Wait, this is blood money. Yeah. I know. No, it's money covered in blood. I can't use this. It's bloody money. Thanks.
This actually needs laundering, like at the laundromat, which I don't like to go to anymore.
Dang it. Victor really screwed me over. And then he's like, oh, hey, college guys that were hassling me earlier. Now you think I'm cool because I kissed a girl. they're like, "What are you up to, Benny? Are you gonna hang out later? Can we maybe like hang out with you? Because you're cool, man. You're like a cool guy. Kissed a girl. No, I'm too cool because she's here to pick me up. Beep beep." And pulls up in the Maserati, and then he's like, "Wait, you guys want to come with us?" No, Benny, they're not your fucking friends, you tool. God, you suck.
You missed the nuance
saying,
there. Yeah.
do you want to come with us?
He was going to give them a ride so he could eat them. Because they're douchebags.
Yeah. Okay, get some, Benny.
Or he was just going to be like, I'll drop you off at the nearest bus station, plebes.
Because he's fucking Benny.
I'll give you a ride to the bus station 80 feet over there. I'm that much of a dick now that I'm a vampire.
God damn it. That's the movie. And I hated every minute of it. Questions?
So does any of this happen?
To your grandma?
Oh, Sam goes first.
Okay.
Does any of this happen if Jay has a washing machine?
No, because they never kidnapped Vanessa or Maria, whatever her name was.
Mm.
It's a Maytag ad.
Yeah, it really is. No. Like, this situation cleans itself up pretty well without you getting involved, Jay. Instead, your girlfriend got turned into poop. Vampire shit, right?
Unclear.
Yeah.
Unclear.
I mean, it's got to go someplace. Can't just hang out. You'd be like the
no,
guy.
They're basically the way that they need blood means that they have to basically just remetabolize all of it.
Oh, they're very efficient, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 1-to-1. What goes in the hole stays in the hole. Can a vampire get so drunk that they puke?
Probably.
You just project a
No,
vomit?
because they're self-healing,
Oh,
so
yeah.
they
That's
would
true.
get to
Yeah,
the point
okay.
the body
Yeah.
would take over.
Yeah, they got Captain America-itis. Okay. So they can't get drunk. Can't do drugs.
They could do drugs, but it's like a 2-second hit before it heals back up.
Yeah.
Or doesn't like Lestat get all fucked up but then can basically become instantly sober? Is that a thing that happens in the Anne Rice bullshit?
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds pretty boring to me. I don't think I'd like to be a vampire. Anyways, okay. Jackie, your question.
Do you think that they have an opium den so that they can eat opium people
Eat opium people.
and get high?
We just addressed they can't get high. It's too quick.
But they could if the blood is already tainted with opium.
No, they would heal
That makes
up.
sense.
What? How
Yeah.
does that work?
Because the blood's what they need to live, but it's all full of opium, so they're fucked up until they metabolize it, because they're metabolizing opium blood. I stamp that as a thing that they could do.
Okay. So is that why all those guys...
Basically, if they're having a drug party, they just have one room of opiates, one room of cocaine heads, weed people, really drunk people, and you just kind of go from room to room and you just sample a little bit here and there.
Okay. So is that why Victor's got a blood bag room and all those guys look like they're asleep? Is because they're all fucking cranked on opium?
Or different things. He's got Hank Williams Jr. in there whenever he wants to get drunk on whiskey.
No, there was nobody having a good time in there. They were all passed out. They were on either H or opium. Maybe he's got another room where it's a bunch of drunken cowboys. I don't know. I fucked your sister. Shut up, Gary. I'm taking my pants off. You just puked in your own cage. The drunk Hank Williams guys is a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's just where, like, at the end of the night, the hoses just come out from underneath. You know, the wall lifts, and then the hoses just come into each other into the gutter that's in the middle, and it washes everything away, and it cleans up the Hank Williams guys.
What about like instead with your plan there? It doesn't just wash them away. It shovels all the guys down into a giant blender, and then you have a man shake. There's a vampire,
and then they all sing
human
Red
smoothie.
Solo
Yeah.
Cup.
Human smoothie.
No, it's the Red Solo Cup song, and that's only on special occasions.
that a Toby Keith call out who just died? And
Yep.
I feel absolutely no remorse about that. He's a terrible person. I don't have any more questions.
Start naming vampire movies that you like more than this one.
All of them.
Really?
Yeah, well, the one we just did with a couple weeks ago, Jackie's got it right. Sam, I fucking hated this movie. I fucking hated every single second of it. Every single vampire movie is better than this. The one that we
Start
just
naming
did,
vampire movies that you like. How about that?
I like John Carpenter's vampires. I don't know if I made that clear. I like Bram Stoker's Dracula. I think that's a pretty good movie.
Oh, it's a hot mess.
It is, but I think it's Gary Oldman's
The
great,
miniatures.
man. Yeah.
The miniatures are crazy good in that.
Yeah, and Gary Oldman. Let's see here. What else we got? Blade, obviously.
I like the Underworld series.
Underworlds are okay. I prefer them to this for sure. They're okay. They're not good, but they're okay. Nosferatu. Let the Right One In. Do I keep going? So I'm running out of vampire movies that I've seen.
That's what I'm saying. There's just only a handful at best.
Yeah. No, there's like a bajillion vampire movies. I just can't think of them right now. Jackie?
What's your... Go ahead.
Got any ones?
I'm with Sam.
You're going to
I
name
think
like
that we should
70,
all-
so what's your favorite vampire movie, Jackie?
Probably,
Blade.
no.
Damn it.
Oh my God. I think it is Bram Stoker's Dracula. I watched that over and over and over again. I just really like it. I like the story.
It's got that.
You know, I also watched Twilight a million times, so I don't know that I can be trusted with this one.
Okay, what's your point, Sam?
I should say Blade because I am such a outspoken fan of the Wesley Snipes, but I think Blade's okay. It's fine. I fucking hate vampire movies. I just think they're stupid as shit. My favorite vampire movie by like a million miles is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one is a good
Paul
one.
Rubens.
Because it's like the only one I like. I didn't hate this. I thought it was fucking fine. I was like, wow, this isn't really... I just think they're so stupid that when people are piling on this one, I'm like, they're all about this dumb.
They are. For the most part. You know, like all the regular mainstream ones, my thing is, I don't like smug people. I don't like not having anybody to root for. You can't root for Benny. He's too fucking stupid. And you can't root for any of the vampires like you can with Blade because they're all so smug and up their own asses. They're just up their own ass. I don't want to watch a show about people whose asses they are inside of. And that's all the vampire movies. They're always up their own ass.
Yeah.
Fuck vampires. Unless you got a guy that's got a sword and he's chopping heads off. That works. I like it. Kill those smug people.
Or a lady that uses it with a knife and some other things and some aerobicizing gear. And Paul Rubens is in that movie, giving the greatest vampire death of all time.
Yeah. And yeah, she had garlic bolos too, if I remember about Buffy.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We ready to do final recommendations?
Sure.
I'll go first. I did not like it. I can't imagine anybody that is a fan of this podcast that would like it. This is a movie for 14 to 16-year-old teenage girls, and they don't listen to this show, so I give it a do not. Sam.
I liked it.
You're crazy.
No, I just think that it moved along fine. I maybe
the blah blah blahs where they're just, do you like me enough yet? Fuck off.
It was dumb, but I just think they're all so stupid that my deal is that I was like, I think I was affected by how much hate it was getting. And when I actually watched it, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. Come on now. And that it moved along in a way that I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. People who like vampire movies are going to watch this no matter what. It's a vampire movie and it moves along fine, but I would have been, even had I not read about this or anything, and I just stumbled across it and I was bored as shit. And just like Netflix, what do I want to watch on Netflix when you can't decide and you're just clicking and clicking and clicking? Had I accidentally clicked on this and watched it, I would not have regretted it. That's what I can give this.
Wow.
I would not have regretted watching this had I accidentally, if I was just like, I need 100 minutes of my life gone, this one would have been fine for me.
Well, let's go to the person who actually likes vampire movies. Jackie, yes or no?
Oh, yeah, totally loved this
What?
one.
God damn it! You guys are assholes.
There was romance and
With douchebags.
they kill people.
Douchebag romance. You like douchebag romance? Great.
kind of.
Ugh.
He becomes a
And I
vampire
don't-
because he's an idiot douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he has an entire eternity to learn how not to be a douche.
And fails at it because he's a douche.
Probably.
Probably. But here's the thing, gentlemen, is that you're going to hate my next pick probably even more.
Oh, great. We're not
good.
doing Twilight. We're not doing the Twilight series. Jim.
No, we are doing a field trip to see Lisa Frankenstein.
Okay. Well, it's not your pick next. So tough shit.
But she can invoke the rule of field trips that go outside of picking.
That's true.
Yeah. Rule of field trips. I am invoking the power of the rule of field trips so that we can do Lisa Frankenstein.
Which would involve both of us vetoing, and I'm already going to not veto it.
All right. Well, I don't think I have the power to veto it because it seems like she's pretty passionate about it. So I guess I don't get to pick this week what my next movie is. But
Yes.
unless is Lisa
Yes,
Frankenstein,
Lisa Frankenstein.
out, Jackie? Can we actually see this, or is there coming
Carves, if you
summer
shot your load prematurely.
2025?
It's playing now at Marcus Theaters.
Okay. All right. Well, Sam doesn't have Marcus Theaters, but
It released a couple of days ago.
okay. All right. I guess our next movie is Lisa Frankenstein.
Yes.
Have a great week, guys. Get to the chopper.